I'm not like super knowledgeable like other people. Like I'm very like my knowledge in it is very novice compared to a lot of people that like really go into it. I was trying to do the video editing thing professionally for a while, and that was like my main source of income for like 6 8 months, maybe a year, something like that. Yeah, I managed a channel for like 5 minutes. That was fun, but
Well, I mean,
it's really hard to convince people to manage a channel, by the way, because they're like, well, why, like, what would you be doing? It's like, well, you all you have to do is focus on your streams, and just like your YouTube channel is just a second thought. All your videos are already scheduled, ready to go. There's editors and thumbnail artists like lined up. You know,
I look at
but
like also Aqua's channel or like Asmongold's. A few of his extra channels are like that, like the Flips channel.
right,
It's a team of people doing it, and it's big enough. The problem is getting to a critical mass enough that because I understand from like a content creator perspective when you're like, hey, I've eaten rice and beans for the third month in a row. You know, like I don't see the point in giving somebody, half of the beans I'm eating for this month.
yeah,
So
yeah. You definitely need like a foundation to be able to do that, or like you have to think of it as an investment and be willing to
Yeah.
do that. But most of the time, it's usually like as an editor, you're looking for work. You're usually going to find someone with X amount of subscribers, a couple hundred viewers or something like that, or at least that's like the goal because you get at least like 100 a video for about. It used to be 10 minutes, now it's 8 minutes. Is for the mid-roll ads or something.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's definitely it's interesting, and you also risk like losing the like personality of the channel too, because you have to find like an editor that fits your vibe or however you want to say it. Because
that is true.
Well, you can have an editor that can replicate your style, but you already have to have that style figured out. And at a certain point, it will diverge. Like Aqua's channel, great example. Also Aqua and Aqua FPS. Like they're the same. Like there's videos that are very similar on these channels, and then there's videos that are wildly different.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like as years have gone on, like it's funny to watch the trajectory of those two. Because I don't watch every video of his, but it's very interesting. I very much like his. I think Hexloom is still his main editor. I really like his stuff. Yeah,
he's pretty good.
He's very good at making, I think, like universally understood content. I love Z Chum, but he's just, oh my god, as an editor, insane. Which I love because I'm also insane as an editor. But you're much more temperamental. Fear. I've made a few edits for Fear. They were insane.
They were crazy. It was for a crazy person. It looks like a crazy person made the video.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's where my editing kind of. I'm still in that fuck around and find out stage. It's hard to.
Yeah. I'll have to Baker X you for fucking 72 hours. No, but I agree with Tragic. Also with you, but it can't be understated that not finding the right person, even if they can replicate a style, is important. Like it's better to have. I don't know. What am I trying to say? It's like.
Well, I think the one editor I listened to articulated the best that we talked about in the last podcast, which is finding the right vibe of an editor. It's not really style. It's do they vibe with you?
Yeah, style, vibe.
I guess kind of
feng shui, but yeah, it's like if he doesn't understand your humor or your timings or anything of that nature, then we'll feel like someone else. If viewers are used to seeing something and they see this new thing, it's like if Rex started editing for me, it's a completely new thing. I don't act like that, and then so it's two opposing views kind of hitting each other, which it's just artistic people trying to find a medium.
Big important part too is like finding someone that understands your content, because it's usually you'll find it with like a viewer of a streamer is usually a good place to start.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone that's already watching like your content and that already enjoys your content is the easiest way to do that. But easy is subjective, I guess. I feel like it's just as hard both ways to get an editor and to get an editing job as an editor. Like it's just kind of
Well,
kind of have to know people.
well, it's not about. I don't even know if it's not about knowing people. There's part of it's that, but I think it's understanding, like being up to date on YouTube is like a full-time job in and of itself, let alone trying to be an editor. And so understanding that like initial hook that you need to get in a video, whether it's a 10-second video or a 10-minute video or a 3-hour video, you know, that first bit of engagement is, yeah, it's where I struggle with, and I was really grateful of our conversation the other day about this, where you were kind of poking at the one video I made where it's a very long intro. Yeah, it's a very long intro that, even though it, like, as a video, this works as a video, but it's not engaging unless you're really into that game mode in that game. And so I kind of get it. And it's still hard for me to like shift things around in videos. I can do it easily in shorts, but long form feels. Are you guys both watch Rick and Morty?
I stopped watching about season 3, I think, something like that. I stopped pretty early on.
I've seen it, yeah.
There's a bit in there about like stories should start where they're at the beginning and end at the end, right? Like not do a 2 weeks earlier cut. I really hate 2 weeks earlier. Like one of my least favorite films is Rogue One, because they put the same scene in twice and it's a flashback both times, and it upsets me.
I think Spider-Man Lotus did that same thing, if you guys know what that is, but we don't have to go into that.
It's interesting watching like movies, and I'm curious because you've been doing it for a lot longer than I have. Have you, like, when you watch movies, do you immediately start putting in videos, immediately pick them apart as an editor?
Yeah, well, it depends on the movie, because I was also, this is going to kind of sound sidetracky, but I was also in theater in high school, or I was theater tech, and there was a big thing about like, oh, if as an audience member you're noticing like lighting changes or like sound, or like if you're noticing these things, then the people that are conducting it are doing a bad job at it. Like you're not supposed to notice like those things. Like you're just supposed to be immersed. Which, like, when you're a video editor watching movies, is kind of hard to do, because you're like, holy shit, that transition was like really cool, or they should have like cut this out or whatever. But I do especially notice that a lot more nowadays than I used to. But I still believe that like you should be getting immersed. I know it's kind of, like I said, sidetracky, but
I think it's right on. I mean, it's not sidetracking, because a sidetrack would be like welcoming people to this, like, and the way we would do that is we would say something like, "Welcome to FtBFtL, Fear to Burn and Friends to Learn, a talk show where gamers discuss the tactical genre, including gaming philosophy, concepts, systems, bugs, cheats, content creation, and more. We're your hosts, FearJBaller and Rectorol. We hope you'll join us on our journeys to understand better, to improve, while preserving our favorite genre." Welcome, Tragic. Tragic is our guest today. He is a former, maybe future editor of random people's YouTube channels.
Whoever's paying.
And he is an avid Tarkov fan.
Yeah, sadly.
Enjoyer. Is fan the right? I don't even know the right word at this point.
It's like an addiction. It's you watched that Tyler 1 clip where he was rage. It was a couple of years ago where he's raging at League. He's just like, you like, your game fucking sucks, but I can't stop playing it because I'm addicted. Like, fix your fucking game, right?
Fear.
That's where I'm at with it.
Do you describe it as a fan or as a? How would you describe it? Because I don't even know.
I don't know. Painful, addicting.
Because enjoyment's not the right word. Like, I enjoy Tarkov. I enjoy things in Tarkov. I enjoy moments in Tarkov, but like,
it's ruined every other game for me.
Hasn't ruined every other game. It's made me think about the long-term impacts of a game, and I'm much more clearly able to. Tarkov's given me a lot of perspective on when I start playing a game, being able to go, okay, this is a game where I can already see that I'm going to play it 30 to 40 hours and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And Tarkov's given me that perspective. It's also given me the excuse of I don't want to play any other early access game besides one, which is Armor Reforger, because it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to deep dive any other game. It's got to pull me hard because I got this one art. It's a full-time job to pay attention to one that I'm actually interested in. And go ahead.
I was going to say that I definitely agree with you. That's like the main issue for me. I think that's why I say it's like ruin other games for me, because I can't play any other game for more than like a couple hours, and then I just like uninstall it. I can't find another game to deep dive into, I guess. Like it's just like I only want to play Tarkov, and then I open up Tarkov and I'm like, I don't really want to play this game. Like I can't.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
Well, Fear took a break.
Every time I turn on the game.
Yeah, you took a break recently, but you also you dumped a lot of hours into Bannerlord like right before you took a break, if I remember correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
like during the break I was playing a lot of Bannerlord. Bannerlord is tight.
It is tight, and it's always fun to me to like play a game like that, like because the juxtaposition between that and Tarkov is so like they're
such a good game.
Yeah, but they're kind of similar because it is in a way an extraction shooter. You could describe Bannerlord as an extraction shooter.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
because
I haven't heard of this game before.
Bannerlord.
Have you heard of Mountain Blade?
Yeah.
Okay, it's the second iteration of Mountain Blade. It's pretty sexy, and there are some very insane mods for it, and there are some very insane PvP communities. They're up there with like a Conan or Ark, like any of those survival game like communities that get they're awesome, but they devolve like they're either it's heaven and you can't get into them because they limit their member base, which I know of a group that does this. They're actually really cool. They're an ARMA group that they cap at 100 members. They don't let anybody else in. And then there's other groups that are like the Rust servers, right, where you're going into hell. But that's what you're there for. Like, you want to live with the trash and play with them. Not that every Rust player is trash. I still have yet to play Rust, but that's my...
Well, I think that's the same mentality for Tarkov, because I think we forget that a lot too. Is like that's like the reason we play the game is because it's hell, right? Like we kind of pride ourselves on it.
True.
Like you play Call of Duty, you filthy casual. I'm over here like risking like millions of rubles all the time, just depleting my mental health.
It's every way to feel successful. Getting out feels good. Winning, if you're not winning every single game of a Warzone, then it gets really boring. You're like, all right, let's do this again.
Yeah.
Whereas like, Tarkov, you can get out with just your tail between your legs and it still feels good.
Yeah, you could just run in with just like an M2 and walk out with like 3 million rubles worth of gear.
Yeah.
If you play your cards right. Or you can bring in like $3 million or 3 million rubles worth of gear and then lose it in 2 seconds.
Well, I think
just getting it.
Well, I was gonna say the sandbox effect of the game is excessively like it's just the ability to approach it however you want once you learn the rules, so you can learn how to break the rules. Like I love everybody. It's like you always got to bring a helmet. You always got to bring, which I know I make guides on, but always bring a helmet. Always bring ears. Always bring these meds. It's like no, just go into Tarkov with nothing, not even melee. Figure it out. It's fun. Like because if you can do that, the rest is cake.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like when you were chirping me, I guess, I think that made me realize like part of the game too, because it was just like I don't have to fucking have all this shit to like all these safety blankets on. I just let's just get into raid and like spend more time in raid and getting shit done and figuring it out, and then overall it'll do better for you.
Right, because
explain that really shit, but
no, you're good. It's I mean, Fear's kind of the same way. I always see you're pretty pushy on making sure people like you're always wanting to be in raid when you're playing, because it's like the stash is so boring. Like you're not doing anything. You're just you're moving pixels, and being in raid, you have a chance of something happening. And as content creators, also that's generally where you need to go to make clips. The hideout's a fun place to make clips into, but it can be a challenge.
I'm an avid hideout hater, by the way.
I know.
What does that mean?
He doesn't upgrade the hideout.
I don't. Well, I upgrade the hideout for the stats, especially like when you had you didn't have to have your generator running for ventilation and shit like that.
Right.
I don't craft. Like I'll craft early wipe for I crafted all my or 2 of my morphines and then all my 6 year rounders, but beyond that, I don't. I did the whole moonshine thing for a while, but then it's I'd rather just shoot people and loot. I'd rather find it in raid. Like if I need something, I'd rather just all right, I need horses. I'm just gonna go hit Sniper Hill Sniper Hill on woods and just hit that over and over again or whatever. It's just I don't spend a lot of time. If I'm in my stash, I'm staring at my actual stash, not my hideout.
Actually, don't think I've ever seen you do hideout management much, Fear. Do you not do the moonshine scab case stuff?
I used to. I'm the same way. I really don't care about it anymore. I'll probably do it this wipe because I'm going to be playing from so much, but it's not on my to-do list.
Well, it's I played casually last wipe and I still got to it, but
Nah.
it's
but you're like a crafting goblin though, at least compared to me.
Right.
You have a sixth sense for the hideout. I just don't have that bone in me, I guess.
So it's less
I'll craft BP, some properties, and then that's all I do the entire way.
Shit I'm gonna use in raid, right?
Yeah.
So I can explain where that came from. It was actually really easy. So number one, I played EVE Online, so I love spreadsheets. But number two,
Yay.
yeah. Number two, during COVID, I worked a job where I was able to work my job and be in Tarkov at the same time. So it was easy for me to constantly be in the hideout. Not so much playing raids. I died a lot playing raids. It's where I learned the 0 to hero, because it was I'm playing the game on mute. Well, I'm playing the game on mute and I'm alt tabbed every 2 minutes. You learn how to hide and rat real quick, where it's all right, I'm gonna run to a spot, hide for 2 minutes, run to a spot, hide for 2 minutes. Because I was just on in conversations and phone calls all day, and it's I can play the game while doing that because I play the game and talk to people normally, so I didn't see it as a problem. And then
I would definitely be doing the same thing,
right? But then you realize you're playing Tarkov, 8 hours a day while you're working, and then you want to play it when you think it sounds fun and you think it sounds cool, and then you do it, and you're like, well, I don't know if this is a great idea. It's good for some of the time. I wouldn't mind being able to, I work an 8-hour job right now, but I wouldn't mind being able to be in the middle of the workday, just go, I'm gonna work, play a raid, because it's nice to decompress, which is nice about my current job. I'm very flexible. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say I could see that because I could see it definitely getting boring, because I already am getting tired of the game and having a physical day job to go to and then coming home and playing it. This is the first time I played in a couple of days, because I'm just I'd just rather sit here and watch YouTube. I spent all this money on a new PC so I can run Tarkov better and just video edit and stuff easier, and I'm just sitting here watching YouTube all day.
It'd be like that, bro.
Hey man, I love it. I just sit here and watch Kill Tony all day.
Kill Tony.
Oh god, it's been Cam Patterson's been killing me lately. Like I love
Dude.
that man so much.
He's a fucking genius.
Like it's hard to because he does the right. He's the right way with it. Is you don't know what's a bit and what's him, and he keeps that line very blurred. At least with everything I've seen of him, which is fantastic. Because
Yeah, he's like super surgical with it. Like I've seen him do, and one of the guests, I forget who it was. I think it was Jim Norton. Like pointed this out, and I've seen him do it at least twice. Where like he goes into this like longer joke and realizes that he doesn't have enough time to finish it, so he like just on the spot comes up like a quick punchline. Like one of them was it was about some old lady, and and the punchline was, "And I stole that bitch's wheelchair," and then the other one was, "So I stabbed the bitch," and you could tell, you could tell he wanted to say more, but he just knew when to get out. Is how I think Jim Norton described it. Like that's like something you would learn years and years of doing open mic and shit like that to learn that. I'm not a comic, by the way.
No, you're
I think I should point that out.
Well, it's funny because it's the same thing with like content and with content creation, video editing, stuff like that, right? It's knowing when to I'm curious how many videos you over edited before you feel like you were at a point of not over editing, or did you?
Dude, honestly, I would. The thing is, with me, like I would only give like a shit ton of effort into like my own personal stuff, and I found myself like really slacking off like on my actual like clients' videos, which like I was giving them what they wanted, but like I just wasn't,
the love
when I watched it, I could have done way more. You know what I mean?
Well, it's one of the hard things is like having perspective on your own stuff, especially like it's wanting. I've been doing this lately. Yeah, for my words, been doing this lately where I edit videos even when I don't want to edit them, and I don't publish them until I edit them when I want to edit them. So
that's a good way to do it, but I just lose steam. Like I have more unfinished projects, and I probably can count on both of my hands, like how many videos I actually finished and published of my own versus like the maybe hundreds that never saw the light of day, other than like an unlisted link I sent to my friends like, "Hey, check this out." Not going to finish it.
But in some ways that can be beneficial. It's kind of I'm going to relate it to streaming, because I think Fear can relate to this maybe too. It's where you stream a lot because you're trying to find the right clip, and it's you're streaming to figure out your content, you're streaming to figure out your audience, you're streaming to figure out your content like creation while doing all of that. And it's the same way in editing, it's you don't have to have an audience to like learn your style. In some ways, like making videos and going, I'm done with this, and moving on to the next thing and not releasing it might be better.
Yeah. And I would say the audience, like having an audience is like completely separate, like apples and oranges to like the actual content itself. You can record and stream whenever you want and have that content and then edit that content. You can do that whenever you want, despite there being an audience or not. You know what I mean? Like you can still work through that and like find your own like niche, I guess. I think the audience is just a completely different thing. That's like a completely different like want, I think, from like the actual creation of the content. Like I don't think that's you're going to end up thinking about it, but I don't think that's something you should think about, which is kind of what everybody says.
Well, because it took me a while to get over it. I'm kind of still in that phase of like it's hard because like I want to care about YouTube comments, and I love YouTube comments, but it's a single person, and it's hard. Like it took me a minute to stabilize that in my mind. And I know Fear didn't have that issue at all. He has just no fear with comments. He's like, nah, haters gonna hate. I'm me, bro.
Yeah. People are gonna talk shit no matter what. There's always gonna be something, and it's always good. And if you look at it too, you're gonna get just an exponential amount more views and likes than you ever are going to get comments. Like so the people that are being vocal either really enjoyed the video or really didn't enjoy the video. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt.
I learned it from Shouldavil's the first one I really noticed it with as a content creator, like a smaller content creator anyways. And I know he's small in the grand scheme, not small compared to us, obviously. But like his just clapping back on haters or just ignoring them flat out. You know, and right now I still do the age old trick where I'm like, I make videos mainly on my shorts channel to specifically farm hate comments because I want a negative comment that I can put in a video that's on one of my videos.
Yeah.
Got it.
That'd be dope. I like videos like that where it's just like clapping back real quick. It's just like, no, you're stupid.
Right.
No.
Yeah, it's comments can be fun, and but because there's some of them have valid points, I guess is the problem, but it takes a while to figure out if a commenter is, I don't want to say on your side, but like on your side as a
have good intentions.
Yeah, good intent.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it. Because I try to treat everybody I meet in real life with with respect and modesty and humbleness, that they have something they can teach me, I have something I can teach them. Let's grow together as human beings. But the internet is
It is not that.
Yeah. Also, it's kind of weird if like somebody comments on a video from a year or two ago and you're like, you don't really remember the full video. I'm like, I don't want to watch this full video to understand this comment. So I'm just going to go, yep, I like the comment. Here's a heart. So,
yeah.
And
fucking watch my new videos and then say something, please. This means nothing right now.
Well, this is really weird content. Yeah, I made it a year ago and I didn't know how to edit, man. Okay. I don't know what else you want me to say.
Because the funny thing with content creation is it's something that like there's kind of a learning curve, I guess, but like it's something you can pick up really quick. Like and like a year difference or like 6 months difference, like a video from 6 months ago compared to now is going to be drastically different. Like you're going to learn very quickly, especially if like you're editing your own videos and stuff.
For better,
you can learn a lot.
It's
yeah.
Who's a great shit? I'm trying to remember. There was I'm blanking. I like content creator. I like watching really big content creators like fall like really hard. Like they lose more subscribers in a day than I like 10 times my channel, right? Because of one post, and they double down and go, no, this is who I am. Deal with it. And because I look at that and I have a lot of respect for it, I guess. I think the Nick Merckx and situation's a good example of that, where it's just they're going to double down on their shit. I had a lot of respect for them and for Merckx and Tim for just defending their shit.
I don't think I heard about that situation. I stay out of the loop with a lot of things, I think.
This one barely hit my radar, and it only hit my radar just because, like, I think it was a day I was getting feed stuff. But effectively, Nick. So there was a fight going on at a school down the street from Nick Merckx's house. Like, it's a local issue to him. So, like, he was watching it and kind of just talking about it. And he's like, I just wish they would leave. It was a stupid fight over, like, school stuff. Like, teachers trying to do stuff with kids. The parents don't want them to. It's the parents and teachers fighting with each other. But it turned into a physical altercation. And, Nick Merckx basically was like, hey, I wish they would leave the kids alone. At least that's my understanding of the situation. So in response to this, Activision pulled Nick Merckx's Call of Duty skin out of the store. And in response to that...
I think I do remember this, actually.
And in response to that, Tim the Tapman asked Call of Duty to pull his skin out of the store. Because he's like, why are you pulling Nick Merckx's skin for... Like, it's free speech, and I understand there's there's free association with companies. Activision has every right to pull any skin they want. I don't care. They can do them. But I have yet to reinstall Call of Duty since they did that. I'm like, that's a weird hill to So it was just a weird hill for me to look at them on. I'm like, number one, they have
the freedom to make that decision, but we also have the freedom to not play their game anymore, you know?
Right. Like, you got Blizzard and Activision together. I'm like, you guys can't defend stuff like this and at the same time, like, have a Bill Cosby room. Like, it's weird. Oh.
Yeah, I was buying some of the newer Call of Duties just because, like, I'm only 23, so you know, at a certain point, like I had like a job and I was able to like pre-order these Call of Duties that I used to have to wait like to buy when it went on sale or something. Oh yeah. So I think I bought up to Black Ops Cold War, and Modern Warfare 2 came out. And I just thought, I don't fucking give a shit. I saw DMZ. I wanted to play DMZ, but then that sucked.
Yeah, DMZ was sad.
Dude, it was fucking disappointing.
It was fun to play with casuals. I really enjoyed playing it with like my brother and my cousin and stuff, and people I hadn't played games with in a while because it was and they were like, oh, it's real high intense combat, and like they're having fun. They're like trying to be tryhards, and I'm like, it's so. I didn't want to be a dick, but I'm like, it was just casual, so I was just screwing around the entire time because it's majority of who you run into is not. It wasn't good, and then eventually you get the stupid SBMM. Oh, I don't want to.
Yeah, I don't even think it had skill-based matchmaking.
No, they
did
did have SBMM. It was so it was.
I was going to say at least I thought Warzone did.
Warzone did, but I don't think DMZ had it. If they did, it was really loose.
Okay, I thought it was in DMZ as well. I knew it was in the what do you call it, in just regular PvP matches too.
Because when I killed this guy, he literally was like, yo, this guy just killed me. I'm on some melatonin. I'm going to sleep. And like that was the death comp for him. I'm like, these guys aren't here to fuck around. They're just right before they go to bed. I think like that's who we're playing against right now.
It was like it was either kids or like casual drunk like.
And then like right after that, these guys crashed their helicopter into the ground by accident. I'm like, these guys don't play often. Like, who are these guys?
They're the weekend gamers, which I love. I love casual gamers because I've been one at my point in life where you're working 80 hours a week. But
well, my point of saying that is that there would have been some skill-based matchmaking if I was playing.
Oh, right.
Those guys were not in my bracket.
So from my understanding with the what they did with skill-based matchmaking was it wasn't. You'd still be in the match with the person, but they'd lower your damage to them, and they'd increase their damage to you. So, for example, somebody did a test on this, and they showed it took like if you go ham, and I mean like go ham like 20-0, a few matches in a row. Your riot shield that normally kills somebody in 2 hits takes like 21 hits to kill somebody.
Is this like a widely known thing in their community?
I 90.
Well, I mean, like that specific aspect of skill-based matchmaking.
What do you say? It was a patent that people found out about.
Right, and I don't know if that was in or not. And I saw a couple.
But there's no proof.
Play this game,
but there's no proof. I mean, there's like proof, but it's shoddy proof, so it's really hard to like.
It's people doing it.
It's like you can't tell if it's lag or testing or making videos.
Yes,
but it's something you feel though. It's truly. I don't know when the last time you played.
I always thought it was some like you were hitting like a certain XP threshold or like getting a certain amount of kills, and then like you were getting matched with other players that are most of the time felt like were better than you.
Yeah, that's still a thing. That's not going to stop. But there was like actual like things of like technology they had that would implement like you would have damage fall off. There would be certain types of like lag. Every other bullet would kind of like disappear every so often. They kind of give like the newer players, the people who you've been shitting on, a little more of a fighting chance.
It's like the worst shit I ever heard in my life.
Yeah, it's not something you can like go ahead and prove right now, but it's something you can definitely feel when you've played all day. You're like, I've been shitting on this kid, and why is this guy melting me with a bare M4? Like, what's going on?
Right, and it's like one shot and you're down. And you're like, I don't.
Like they would like a shit on you, and I'm like, this guy's 9 and 17. Like, how did he just absolutely melt me like this? So there's it's like those types of instances. And then when you do really well, you get put in like MLG lobbies.
Yeah, that's
against
what
Scump instantly.
That's what I'm used to, or like some PS4 like Prodigy. Japanese name. Yeah, just like some fucking Prodigy, just killing it out there.
I do.
Call of Duty sucks now. It's so depressing.
And the aim assist is really strong too. I mean, I come from controller. But the aim assist is very strong.
It's also really strong on Apex Legends, like on controller. I've noticed because I've played on friends' PS4s before, and it's like insane. I'm hitting shots that I have no right. It's like it just fucking tracks the player for you. You just have to like move the stick in that general direction, and it's already gonna lock on for you.
Yeah, it's their way of compensating for PC players being nuts, but it goes a little too far sometimes. I mean, I don't know.
I kind of get it because we have the ability to control our DPI, and you can be a lot more fine tuned with a mouse than you can a controller. But you can learn a controller to fine tune it. It's just I think it does take a bit more. We have technology on our side. That one is all real, getting your thumbs real nimble and dexterous. Right? It doesn't matter how fast I move my hand or how slow I move my hand. I just need to adjust my DPI. But it does matter how fast I can move my thumbs and how dexterous I can be with them on a controller.
For sure.
It's also like this, like the settings options, and then like I can build a PC for the price of a PS5 that outperforms it. Like it's just there's so much shit. It's just like when they first started introducing cross-platform, I'm like, dude, this is like the worst idea ever. But I am so excited to just shit all over a bunch of console players. Like it's gonna be amazing.
That's why I've been really enjoying Arma Reforger, is because they have crossplay, which is very weird because it's modded. So I don't know how they're getting it only on Xbox, not PlayStation, because I don't think Sony would allow it on their weird, like, hey, you need 2 months to patch content with mods. So I think it's just Xbox right now, and it's very weird because people are playing in their living rooms, but Arma's a very generally like milsim heavy game. And it's very, I don't know, it's immersion breaking, but it's hysterical at the same time because it's just a whole new breed of gamer for the first time getting into a milsim game, because I can't, like, there's no milsim console games. They don't exist.
No, not really.
Like the last one would have been maybe Operation Flashpoint Dragon Rising, and even that one, and SOCOM, Navy SEALs.
Dude, okay. Yeah, have you played SOCOM online before?
I played SOCOM online a long time ago. Not SOCOM online the game, but like I played SOCOM the game online.
Oh, gosh. Right now, there's a server I'm in. It's I don't know how they did it, but like you can do it through a PS2, but most people do it through an emulator, and they have their own servers up, like, or their own, I guess, like IP address where you can like make your own game, and people play, like a lot of people play this, like SOCOM 2 especially. So like if you're ever into that and you want to play that shit, that it is super easy to do.
I mean, yeah, because it's like, the problem with it is it's crackhead plays, like, because it's Counter-Strike. It's like Counter-Strike. It's the exact same thing.
And people that are on this server have been playing it since the PS2, like since SOCOM 2 released, like essentially. So like you're gonna, like, you never really played it before, you're gonna get curb stomped.
Bit before your time, I think. Tragic Fear. Did you ever do cloud spotting or like skybox spotting? I don't know.
What's that?
Where you memorize skybox on a map to throw grenades or shoot like long range artillery.
No.
Oh, so this is my problem with coming from competitive Battlefield, is because it's your 32 on 32. You're trying to beat an entire team. We would spend all week shooting artillery in the sky and shooting grenade launchers in the sky and shooting tank shells in the sky at pre-designated spots and taking screenshots, so that way we could do call-outs when people would be attacking bases, and we could immediately obliterate them with artillery. The other team did it too, so it's all about who can do it better and faster and communicate that information faster. And
Battlefield?
Yeah, Battlefield. Yeah.
Which one?
1942 originally, and then we eventually moved over to Battlefield 2. But we played a mod for it called Forgotten Hope. I also played in a tournament for Desert Combat in Battlefield 1942, which was the team that got hired to make Battlefield 2. They made a mod for Battlefield 1942 first, and it was super cool. I worked with a couple of their devs on a small project called Desert Combat Realism. It's kind of fun. They were pretty cool people.
Wish I could get like with some developers. I don't know how to do any of that shit. I'd be like, hey, I can make your trailer.
So with like scripting and modding and stuff, it's real easy. You just gotta start finding scripts that people need and helping them, and that means learning how to script, which is
Oh man, I'm like a stubborn old man now. I won't even learn DaVinci Resolve. I'm set in my ways.
that's where I'm at with Adobe Premiere. I'm like, I started looking at DaVinci and all this. I'm like, I could do everything in Adobe in this, and I could just learn it. I'm like, I like Adobe. I like the updates. I like the AI tools they're building out. I like that's worth it for me. I'm trying to get to that like AI Photoshop one still where it's
Oh yeah.
you can do corrective text. It's super trippy. Like if you type things wrong, like people that make videos out of it make it seem so easy. It's not easy. It takes a minute. But I've been screwing around with some AI art. It's fun.
I messed around with that for a bit. I was gonna do the whole like side hustle thing with Midjourney, but I never ended up doing it. I didn't lost interest, I guess.
Well, I guess just kind of expound on this and clarify for what we're talking about for people, and maybe fear, because I don't know if you know what we're talking about here. You can take a picture, and let's say it's you standing at a picnic table next to a tree, like a single tree. You can just draw a line. You know, you can go like, I want to just take this image, a section of the image and edit and go, I want it to look like a forest. And the AI will just go, okay, this is what a tree looks like in the area. Let me make a bunch of trees of that same variety in the area. Okay, I want a mountain in the background. Okay, I want you to be holding, a shotgun. I want a person to be lying on the ground in front of you. Like, I don't know, I'm going with a murder scene, but it's...
Yeah. I think on their website, too, I saw how they were, like, showing an example of it. There was... like a power line, and it was just like a picture of the sky with a power line and birds on it. It was just showing like, hey, you can remove, like, just easily, just like, oh, I want you to remove this bird or put it over here or whatever. Just a real simple example of it, but it's fucking crazy. And I'm, like I said earlier, I'm kind of set in my old ways, so it's gonna suck to have to learn that stuff eventually. But I don't know if it's gonna make my life easier. I haven't really been editing though lately. I need to start doing that. I recorded when we played earlier.
Nice.
Nice.
I'm gonna use those hopefully make a short out of like those 2 kills I got, and then the fucking scab war that went on, just to like do something simple and get a like feel again. And I haven't made a short yet. I need to get on that. I get how to do it. I just never made one.
You know,
They're easy.
they're easy. I feel so... It's so silly to me because about a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, I tried to make shorts without understanding how to make shorts. So I uploaded them. I left them up there. They're in 1920 by 1080 instead of 1080 by 1920.
Mm-hmm.
So YouTube doesn't look at them as shorts. Because I was like, I thought YouTube would just take a regular video and crop it and put it in shorts if you just tagged it and left it under a minute. And I was woefully incorrect about that. And I was like, after I did about 5 of them, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go read an article instead of just guessing how the system works. And when I read it, I'm like, oh, this makes a lot more sense for me to upload the video in the appropriate size than it is for them to cut it and edit it. Because the problem is, like, if you ever pull up a shorts in a non-shorts window, if you ever get it in, like, the autoplay, when you're watching normal videos, it has those it has the bars on the side. So that's where I came into the conclusion from. I was like, oh,
there wasn't also a lot of information on how to do it at the time when it was first starting.
It's
like upload shorts, like tight. What's that? And they're like, figure it out. Bye.
Bro,
that was okay. Thanks, YouTube.
That's
pretty much what their fucking tutorial was.
When my channel was starting to grow a little bit, that was Grease, and I had that conversation. He literally for like 3 months just kept going like, bro, you need to work out, you need to do shorts. Your content would be great as shorts. And I'm like, I don't understand this word you're using. And every time I try to research it, there's no information. And I didn't like, it took me a while to finally be like, oh, look, I clicked on the shorts section in YouTube and I'm like, this is mostly stupid. And then I just clicked off of it, and I didn't watch shorts videos for a long time. And I saw a couple content creators pop off with them that I'm like, I enjoyed their content. I'm like, oh, okay, I kind of get it. And you had the people come over from TikTok that were kind of cool.
Yeah, I was like, this is just basically TikTok when I first saw it. It's like, this is.
100%.
I never downloaded TikTok, not for any reason. I just don't use. I'm just a YouTube fiend, but I was like, oh, this makes my life so much easier. I don't have to download TikTok now. I just fucking sit here and swipe all day on YouTube.
I probably uploaded about 200-300 videos to TikTok. I was not a huge fan of the engagement system on it. I was not a huge fan of. I uploaded 300 videos, I think, right around, maybe less than that, but I was attempting to get banned on TikTok. I was uploading videos because I wanted to get a screenshot of me being banned on TikTok to upload to Shorts, right? Because I thought it'd be funny. I made some really weird shit. I made a video about, and tagged it with a bunch of baby stuff, right? Of talking about this. So there's a scene in Starship Troopers where there's a woman who we find out earlier wanted to be like a mother and raise kids. That's why she joined the military, is so she can get a kid waiver. And there's a point in the movie where you watch her get brutally dismembered and eaten by bugs. And so I thought it would be appropriate to try to push that into a mother section on TikTok. That didn't even get me.
Naturally.
Yeah. That didn't even get me any kind of flag whatsoever. So
TikTok's a weird place, man.
it's a weird place, and even weirder commenters. It's YouTube commenters got, holy crap, at least most YouTube comments can spell.
Most of the YouTube commenters are grammar Nazis, though. Wait, are we still allowed to say that?
Yes.
Grammar Nazis?
Yeah, 100%.
They're all I forget the term, but they're all like academics, fake academics.
Yeah, it's been well, have you guys ever had a moment in your life where you had to put your knowledge and experience actually to the test? Not just write it down, not go, this is in theory how this works, but actually heavily responsible, I guess, put your experience and knowledge on the line. Like, a company's going to lose a lot of money, your family's going to lose their home, someone's going to die, that kind of level of situation.
I don't know if I'm cool enough for one of those situations.
You're kind of young and tragic. It's
Yeah.
a lot of things.
I've had some crazy stuff happen, but not that would, I didn't have steaks on the line. Steaks on the line? It was just, filet mignons on the line.
Yeah, dude.
Fear,
Made a rush at lunch.
Yeah.
Fear, you're an older gentleman like myself. Well, middle-aged gentleman. Middling.
Oh, man.
I am
We're
not.
approaching middling. Well, actually, hold on. We'd be maybe thirdlings, because humans are living to be 100 right now, right? So what would be a third of the way there? We'd be thirdlings.
Yeah.
We're thirdling. Yeah.
I'll take that.
Have you ever had a I guess something like that where you've had to put your knowledge and experience on the line? Outside of gaming, I guess, in terms of
Yeah.
I would assume.
I think so. There was life on the line.
How'd that turn out?
He passed.
Ooh, wait, hold on. That's not what I meant. What happened? What are you talking about?
I can open up first if you want, Fear. We can go this direction with it.
Go ahead.
All right. So, obviously, I've had a few careers that have taken me in harm's way and been where people have been being harmed. I don't want to get into too gruesome of ones. My favorite one, one of my, I want to say favorite. Favorite's not a great way to put it, but there's moments where you walk in on an emergency situation where somebody is dead, and it is you've already. What's a good way to describe this? You're ability to handle the family in that situation is going to, because let me back up here, because I'm trying to think of how to explain this to people who might not know nomenclature. So when you arrive on scene and somebody is dead, that doesn't mean they're dead. That means that we're treating
Chest compressions. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They could just need Narcan. They could just they could just need chest compressions. They could just need oxygen. They could also not be dead. You can not feel a pulse, and the person can appear to not be breathing, and they can still be alive. It's rare. Generally, more with like frostbite is what you'll see at like really extreme cold temperatures or extreme hot temperatures. But
You're from up north.
yeah, and so we arrived on one, and it was a projects, so very low income housing. It was all mainly Puerto Rican. A little bit of some other stuff mixed in there. Then there's a reason I'm saying this, and they were mainly devoutly Catholic, or they were heroin addicts. There was no in between. And the man had overdosed on heroin, and there's about 30 people trying to heal him with the power of prayer. I gave him Narcan. It got him awake, but he wasn't doing good, mainly because he currently believed he was possessed by his currently alive father, who was in the room, and was trying to unalive himself. I have never been more viciously attacked by people I was trying to help than that day. And like everything in my life had led up to a moment of being able to remain calm and collective to somehow get this guy out of a crowd of people, get him into our ambulance. And at that point, I've thankfully had some cops and firefighters with me to help get the people off of my ambulance, because they got violent towards the end. They tried to rock our ambulance. I had to hit somebody in the face with an oxygen tank, and it is one of the most horrific memories in my vision, because I broke their nose in and just drove off. And I feel bad about it, but the guy in the back of my ambulance was going to die, and we were potentially going to be swarmed by a mob if we didn't get out of there. And
I wouldn't have any like regret or anything.
No,
I think that's a pretty like cool thing you did for that person, not the person you hit, but like you fucking did your job essentially.
Right, but it's like there's so many things and factors going on in that moment that it's hard to. It's why it makes Tarkov so. I don't know, this is a weird segue, but I love Tarkov because I have a reason to be stressed in a video game, and so it calms me down. Because I've dealt with very stressful when I'm in a stressful situation, because I've just been in so many of them. Playing a game that is also supposed to be stressful and not being stressed out is there's something liberating in that.
I don't think I've ever seen you stressed when we played we played a lot of Tarkov. I don't think I've ever seen you like freaked out or anything. You've always been like the coolest motherfucker out of everybody. You're like, all right, guys, calm down. We're all right.
It's just pixels.
Yeah, it's just yeah.
So yeah. I guess so. Bringing back to my earlier point, Fear. Have you ever had has moments like that helped you shape how you play video games? I guess, or look at.
How I play video games. I guess I could say that. Yeah, duh. I think I don't know. It's so funny to combine those two things together, right? Being in tough situations for sure have made me realize that other things aren't as stressful as we assume them to be, right? And I think that's kind of like what's like bleeding through to video games. It's why you're never stressed, because you know what real stress looks like.
Right, it's because you've seen
puts things in perspective.
Yes.
Yeah, I think the idea of putting things in perspective helps. So sure, it could be like anything. If you were really good at like a management job playing video games, you probably can manage a Discord or manage personalities pretty well.
And vice versa, by the way. If you're very good at managing a Discord community or a gaming community, you can be a manager. It's a transferable skill. Lie on your resume.
There's some nuances you do have to learn.
Dude, I thought about that literally like the past couple of days because like I'm trying to like fluff up my resume, and you know, with me doing the video editing and stuff, I can put like, oh, I understand like marketing and you know, algorithms essentially. And I was just thinking, I was like, can I put like kind of managerial things on there because like I did like a lot of like team lead stuff in Tarkov and like. It was like I got like 2,300 hours in Tarkov. That's a lot of experience.
I'm yelling at people, telling them to get it together now.
Yeah,
you just got to frame it right. A lot of it.
Yeah.
So you talk about it as like talk about like, hey, I participated in a club where I took a leadership position in stressful situations. Sometimes I'm going to admit, sometimes it was playing video games, but we did have other conversations. We always tried to draw real world parables. So that way we were learning skills and I learned how to manage people and organize them. And that's all you got. Like, if you leave it at that, if they want to go further with it, they can. But modern companies, if you have an ounce of technical ability right now, the market's yours. Because
I've always felt it's so oversaturated, but I'm almost pessimistic in that view, though. It's probably biased, but I feel like it's hard to get a foothold into anything, especially now. Like I'm kind of trying to get editing jobs now, and it was way easier back then because I had people that were already like close friends that were already doing that, and you know, they were able to help me get in like to that door, and now it's just like nobody even responds.
Well, you gotta remember right now there's I think it's about working the right angle a lot of times, right? It's so for video editing, the few I've gone after professionally, there was a really weird one. I did an interview for it. I talked to them. I made a sample video for them. It was crazy. The DNC in Texas was looking for video editors. So I was like, I looked at it as a challenge.
Gnarly.
Right. And I was like, I'll talk to them. And I did like a shortcut for them. They really didn't like my style. They're like, they're like, you memed Joe Biden in this. I was like, well, yeah, because it's relatable. And I was like, okay, I can understand I'm not getting the job. Got it, lady. We're good.
I think my dad and my grandfather would make fun of me if I worked for the DNC in Texas.
I think it's interesting because I think when we talk about, I do think it is oversaturated because, you know, COVID happened, lockdowns, everyone started working online or at home. And that could be said for a lot of things like graphic design, all that stuff too.
Yeah, everyone wants to be a graphic designer.
Yeah, because you can work from home. And now with AI stuff, there's a lot of easy ways to create things online. And so to break into a market, I think the main way is that you're just extremely talented and you're just extremely proficient at your craft that you could charge X amount of money and it'd be like worth it, right?
Right.
But that hits me with like a catch-22 because it's like you don't really know that until you're doing it consistently for someone. And it's like then those results have to be proven. If they're proven, then you're already getting paid and you don't need to market the skills because it's already happening. So you're like stuck in this place of being like, what do I do from there? And I always think about this guy called D-Rock from he's the guy who filmed Gary Vee. I think he found him on Craigslist. He's like, I'll film anything for free. And what ended up happening for him is he just filmed him. He did a vlog for him for like a whole year, and then that took off. So I think it's like a super hustle game right now of being like, what can I do to provide such a value somewhere? It's weird to explain. So it's like, let's say you go up to a YouTube channel and you're like, yo, I can make you money. You have to make them money. And then once you make them money, you can utilize that portfolio of something. This is what I did. You can showcase it to other people and people are like, I could pay for that. I can do this. I can pay for that. But getting that part is a lot of free work, especially now in the internet age.
Well, I guess
what people want to hear.
Because
I mean, making $25 edits, it's not. You're not going to make no money. You're gonna be working. You can make more money working at McDonald's.
Well, that's I guess
and that's the hard part about it because no one wants to pay $50. I asked my buddy, how much do you fucking make? charging for videos. He's like $50 an hour. I'm like, an hour?
I never
An
got
hour,
paid by
buddy?
the hour. That's
And then he also works at like a video editing firm, and I'm like, dude, that's a lot of fucking money. So either A, you're really good, B, you might be just trying to, I don't know. There's a lot of things I think about when someone charges an hourly rate like that, but
it's just super competitive, is what it
but
is. Like you have
it's
to have the
super competitive.
drive. Yeah, you have to have the drive and motivation, and that's a hard thing to have.
or you go work at like, a
Well,
firm somewhere,
well,
and you
I
just
get-
make little short clips, and you hate it, and it's not very fun.
I guess that's kind of where I was going with it is, unfortunately, if you kind of want to build yourself up, you gotta go do boring stuff. That's why I took a boring job that I'm very good at, because I get to have a high bill rate. I think I've said this before. I don't mind really talking about it too much, but my bill rate is $135 an hour to clients. That's what my company makes if I go out on a call. So like it's whether if I sit home and talk to the person on my phone or I drive to their site. Doesn't matter. And it's that's one of the things that was really hard. It's really hard for me putting time into YouTube. It's like I know I could make more money doing YouTube, but I also know that my technical professional career is probably has a higher top end, to be completely honest, but like a more realistic top end. But YouTube is just so much more. Not even YouTube, just like video editing is more of a. There's a call to it. The idea of like editing and expressing.
You have to like it.
You have to like express. Well, it's expressing an opinion in a way that, like, you're creating something out of nothing. But we talked about this last podcast, and it's got to have a value to it. And it's why I've started just going back to making like really short clips, because
Yeah, it gets hard to find that like medium of like the shit I like want to make, and then like shit that's gonna get views.
Right. So I guess it's like you could go look at being a video editor or going to do content for somebody that's not. There may be the more boring side. So Fear, a great example for you is finding tournaments that, because you want to get into like the shoutcasting stuff, finding tournaments that might not be good, but you provide value by making them better by shoutcasting them. So you're going to the boring areas of the internet, right, and finding value that you can create there. And it's kind of the same thing with like going to a boring company and working, right? As a video editor, you might be able to find a paper products company or something, or who knows? Like you could do what some of the weird people do on YouTube too, which I don't want to say weird people is a bad way to put it. They go like shoot commercials at businesses. I don't know if it's fake or not. It's one of those things that's hard, where they're like they go
Most
offer,
of them are probably fake,
right?
I'd say, or most of them look fake to me. I know some of them. I've seen a lot of them that are, I would say, are real, but
I agree they're editing it in real time. They're editing it right then. I don't have a problem with that. I'm like, I don't think you walked up to this business and they agreed to let you do this in this day. I think that's edited. I think you emailed them, or they emailed you and paid you to come do this.
It's funny, the fake ones too. It looks like they edit it with like a fucking like app on their phone or something. Like it's like not even good.
Fear, you know what we're talking about? The commercial.
Nope.
So there's these content creators, video editors that basically will walk up to generally a restaurant, and they'll go, or food truck, and be like, "Can we film a commercial for you?" And they'll do the like stereotypical Burger King style commercial effectively. Like, so if it's a burger, it's just burgers flopping into itself, and it's like the person assembling the thing, and it's nothing's hard. It's just like making a thirst trap for the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
And they're good video. A lot of them are like, the final product is good videos. I don't have an issue with that. I don't have an issue with the editor. I have an issue with the like, it's this weird.
You think it's fake?
Well, it's a weird reality story where it's like they're trying to convince you that they walked up to this restaurant out of the goodness gracious of their hearts, randomly
I would say
on this day, and offered to edit for free. And
I mean, it's never
it's possible.
I would say,
but not all.
But it's not. But it's never for the goodness of their heart, and that's just something that like everybody knows. Though I don't think anybody's being fooled about that. Everyone knows they're making this video to promote their YouTube. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I would say the general rule of thumb for those videos, though, if they're like, "Hey, do you want $100 or do you want like a free commercial?" Like those are the fake ones. And then I'd say the people that just go up, "Hey, can I like edit a free commercial for you?" They're doing it because they're going to get a lot of views on it, like for the TikTok that we're watching or the shorts that we're watching. And then, of course, again, that's just another thing to put on your portfolio. Like,
Yeah,
just throw it
they're
on
just
there.
building portfolios. That's all they're doing. Everybody knows this. Everyone's getting something from the situation. You know, I get a free video.
I would
You
say
get a
that
free
those are a
portfolio.
win-win, though.
Yeah, it's a win-win for
Oh no,
everybody.
they're great. I wasn't knocking it that way. I was knocking it
No,
the way they
but I
opened the
just
edit. Yeah.
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think that.
The
I don't think
fake
anybody
ones are
thinks.
stupid, though. But
Yeah, I don't think anybody thinks that like they're real or like they're doing any kind of good cause in the world. Like it's not like we're not gonna post this video. You're not even gonna know about it. But we made it for free. Check it out. Like, no. Yeah, everyone knows what's happening, I feel like. But if it's done tastefully, and I don't know, maybe sometimes I agree, it's probably not, they didn't just knock on their door, be like, hey, yeah, I'm actually not busy working, running my business. Come make this video while it's like probably not happening that way. I'm probably emailing hundreds of people trying to see. The same thing with the guy who walks up to people in New York is like, hey, how much do you pay for here? Can I walk into your apartment with you?
yeah, there's no
Like,
way
that's
that
not
you just
real.
yeah.
It might have been initially, maybe, but it's not that way anymore.
That's
He
why
definitely he knows people.
I love Scumbag Dad. I think he flips a lot of content on its head. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Tragic, obviously, is based on him laughing.
No.
Did you remember? I don't know if he does them anymore, but the ones where it was like a storyline he was doing where you like it was a POV and you were like the kid of the scumbag dad and he was just taking around like lying to you and just doing like drug deals and killing people and shit. It's the stupidest fucking thing ever.
So he's very good at collaborating with people, and his content's basically his content is this. If you notice somebody doing a TikTok trend or like a YouTube trend or anything, he will do that trend, but do it in the most like he's just very good at being like a piece of shit, and he looks like a 70s dad with a mullet. Right, so he pulls off the look.
As a porno stash too.
Yeah, he pulls off the look of like a real
scumbag dad.
Yeah, he looks like a scumbag dad, and it's great. And he a lot of times he does collaborations and stuff, and it's very
S tier content.
S tier content.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some of the good shit right there.
Because the greatest stuff of his, you don't realize it's hit. If you don't look at the name of a channel, which I do sometimes when I'm scrolling shorts, I don't really notice the name or the title at first when watching the video. Like I will not realize it's a scumbag dad video until halfway through it, because he's very good at sometimes like obfuscating that this is a shitty video, and he's really setting it up as. Like, he'll be like, I'm going to give $100 to this homeless person. And then he gives $100 to the homeless person, and then he, like, beats the shit out of them or something. Like, that would be the bit. Like, he's going to do something really shitty. But if you don't recognize his voice, or he has somebody else doing the voice, and he comes in out of left field, like, it's just, you never know what's going to happen next with his stuff. And it's great. Some of his older stuff is very weird before he found his like, niche. Which is, it's something. I know you got over it. Like you kind of have your idea moving forward. I'm still kind of putting my stuff together. I'm getting there. It's it's little by little, day by day, it gets put together. But you try to figure out what your content is, and while you're trying to figure it out, you got to screw around and find out. So, like you make stuff that you go, oh, this is stupid, but. You don't realize it's stupid till a month later. That's one of the things it took me a while to realize it. Sunjo, I think, was the one who brought it up on our earlier podcast, where he didn't understand, maybe he did it in the chat, he didn't understand the difference between my main channel and my shorts channel, and I actually understand it now, which is I edit and upload a video on my shorts channel regardless of if I have time to like really finish it and make it better. And because I want it to be a reflection of like, it's like an editor vlog. Like, this is what I was able to edit today, or over the last couple of days. Maybe I edited the video a couple times because I edited the other one quickly. Or, hey, I wanted to edit 3 videos today because I felt like it. And I want to see where my brain's at with that. And then I go back and watch it, and I realize what like, I don't know, you kind of get a perspective on yourself, I guess.
Those are fun days when you're just like, I just feel like pumping 3 videos out.
Or
That
9.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking little baby tragic when he was just started editing. I'd do that shit, man. That shit is so fucking fun.
You're just riding a high of editing. You're like, I'm
Yeah.
making the best shit ever today, and then just nobody watches it, and you're like, oh, that was, you know what, I had fun.
I used to make these Call of Duty edits. Well, I guess I should explain how I started, I guess, but
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to join these sniper clans in Call of Duty back like 2011, 12-ish. And like the ones that would hit like these quad feeds, like these really cool clips, trick shots, shit like that. But I was never really good enough to hit the clips. So the next best thing is to be an editor for them because they would make montages, right? Like FaZe Clan would make, basically just these music videos out of these clips that you would hit. And I don't know, I just started doing that, and I was like, dude, this is really fucking cool, actually. And then just made Call of Duty edits for like 10 years, and then started like doing stream highlights for streamers like Jake and Bake. I actually worked for Amaranth for like a month, and then she was like, this isn't, or it was under like like this small like company, for lack of a better term, me and a few friends made, and my friend was managing the channel and I was an editor for it, and she was like, this wasn't what I was expecting, because it was just highlight streams, and we know the type of content Amaranth makes, so I wasn't doing that. It was doing it like a stream highlights video.
Oh, you're like, people are interested in her as a person.
Yeah, it's like she was like, nah, this isn't what I was looking for.
Which
my ass is not in any of the frames, please. You're fired.
So, well, she of course didn't explicitly say that. I should, not to slander or anything, but that's like what I took from it.
She makes enough money. We could talk shit.
Yeah. So edited for her, Jake and Bake, the streamer named Whoops, without an H. Some oddball jobs here and there. I did that for about a year. So I've been editing for about 11, 12-ish years, something like that, off and on.
And you like it?
It's pretty cool. I kind of said it earlier. It's, if like you want to do it, like you have to like it. It's super tedious and a lot of just like doing the same shit over and over again, especially when you're taking like a 12-hour stream and putting it into a 10-minute video.
What was your
what
was your original like editing program that you got into? Like, because it'd be what, Movie Maker?
Sony Vegas. Sony Vegas is my bread and butter. Like right now on my computer, I have installed Vegas Pro 14, which is a really old version of Vegas, but it's super fast and what I'm used to. I used to love 10, 12 was pretty dope. 13 was cool, but kind of weird.
That was the hardest thing, by the way, and my content suffered hard from it, was when I switched editing platforms, when I went from VSDC to Adobe. I was like, oh my God, like I could not, it took me forever to literally figure out how to like sift properly, where it's like, I want to cut this and I want to just get rid of everything in between this and the next clip, and everything compresses nicely. And it's like, Adobe just has it's not bad, it's just different. And
and Premiere, especially like when you're doing a lot of cutting, it's fine. I like it. I can do it, but I just feel like it just is extra shit that I have to do to really. I can't do it efficiently, I feel like. But of course, everyone has their own custom keybinds and shit like that, and it's like, no, I just want to just teach me the layout, and I just want to do it. And I know Sony Vegas like back and front. So it's just, I just rather would use like an old Vegas to like cut up my videos, and then I'll throw it in After Effects and do all my shit in there. I'll get the latest version of After Effects, whatever is out like now. After Effects is dope. I don't, like I said, I don't really like Premiere. Premiere is weird, and then DaVinci Resolve, I have that installed, but I don't get it. It
It's
doesn't.
different
It's weird. Yeah, it's
with their
completely
node
different.
system.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. I don't nodes, dude.
Yeah, it reminds me of using like Maya 3D animation tools. Like
Oh,
it's,
you.
Oh man.
that's what DaVinci Resolve's like Fusion platform reminds me of. It's a lot of
Oh,
connecting
shit. Yeah.
nodes or using. Or reminds me of like Ableton. I think uses like a node system too.
So
Like
what you
editing
like?
music.
You have like a layer on top that you like control all the things for below for the
Yeah,
video. Okay,
it's
yeah,
like a bunch of ins and outs, and yeah,
okay. That's yeah. That would. I like all my things to be. This is one of the reasons I like Adobe is everything's written out, which I understand if you're like a visual person maybe where you're like I want like pretty I guess nodes. You know, DaVinci is the way to go, but I just want something to say effects control, and I want it to spell out the effects. I'll learn where it is by muscle memory over time. I want it spelled out and written what I'm doing very clearly, because, like, tragic, I've started learning about video levels finally.
Video levels?
Levels.
How do you mean?
Uh,
Like color correction?
yeah, we'll go into like
Yeah.
12-bit and shit and like screwing that around. It's
I
very.
got you.
Like, because I've always done, like, I've screwed around like lumetri settings and stuff a lot. It's color correction, distortion, but it's
I would do all of that in After Effects, dude. After Effects has some crazy fucking like everything is so much clean. Even text is like cleaner in After Effects. I don't know what it is, but
I don't have After Effects with my license. It's my next. I
I got you.
have a big purchase coming up in the next couple of years, hopefully, and unfortunately it's like video edit. I took 6 months of my life off of working to learn content video editing, and it was worth it. But I gotta build back up. So After Effects has to wait for a hot minute.
Yeah, I didn't necessarily pay for my stuff, but
I understand the argument on the internet about Adobe. You don't need you can get everything for Adobe easy, and I agree
Dude.
with that. But you can't get their latest updates to their AI. And I really, when it comes to subtitling, having the latest AI package and not having to go wait for someone to upload a fix to a crack somewhere is.
is true.
It's
Yeah.
worth it to me. The convenience is worth it.
I mean, it's just I don't like the monthly subscription thing. I like how DaVinci Resolve does it, and this is another reason why I really need to learn it. When you buy the actual like professional package, whatever the hell it's called, like you have like that license to you, like you will always have the latest like update. So like Sony Vegas, you every iteration 10, 11, 12, like you had to buy the next one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like DaVinci Resolve, you just have it. If After Effects was like $500 and then I can have like the latest version of After Effects till the end of time, I would like do that in a heartbeat. But I just this subscription thing, I did it for a while when I was in like college, but I just because it was like $20 a month for everything. But I'm not a student anymore, and that's just expensive.
Yeah, and I don't think that Adobe or Sony, but I don't think they do lifetime licenses. A lot of companies moved away from that. Yeah. Like I'd probably drop if there was a lifetime license for Adobe for $1,000. I'd probably drop it because like it'd pay for itself over the long term.
Oh, like Adobe Suite for $1,000?
Yeah, like the full suite.
I would do that.
Yeah,
yeah, I would. Yeah, I would fucking. That would be the greatest shit ever.
well, because the full suite is I think right around $60 a month for the license, which is
it? I thought it was like $89.99 or something, or it was like $80 or something.
So you don't you don't get everything, you get most of it. There's a few nicks and crannies you might not get, but those are. I think there's some things in the Adobe suite that are so damn niche that I don't know. I kind of like the mix and match. I want to ask you a question for Fear when he gets back because I think he probably would want to follow up on this, which is more gives you a minute to think about it. Like where to go to find editors, I guess. Like how do you
Oh,
like recommend trying to, because there's got to be some waters to navigate, right? Like I've done art commissions before, and I feel comfortable with that, but video commissions, it's complicated, right? Because it's like I think I've talked to you about this before. I just know Fear probably hasn't. Where it's like, how do you like?
well, there's a
yeah, go ahead.
Committing murder and back.
okay. I was about to say that was perfect time as well because I was going to go into it. There's how I did it. There's a lot of Discord servers, and I can send you like all the links and stuff. And I don't know if you'd want to put it in like the description or whatever as well. But there's a few ones that I'm in 3 of them like at the moment. One of them's Rift Editing, Creative Paradise, and Editor Parlor. Creative Paradise is going to be the main one as an editor to get jobs, but you need a fucking nice portfolio because half the time it's people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers doing like oh, you're going to get like $6,000 a month, but you have to be worth $6,000 a month. You know what I mean?
A lot of people think they are, and then you actually Fear, you heard the question I was asking Tragic or no? Okay, so
no. I was killing a spider.
Oh, you're good. So I was asking.
I had to kill a cricket earlier.
We bought my mom bought a Venus fly trap, and we were trying to find flies to feed it. Oh, it's funny.
What was the question?
So I was asking Tragic about like what's the best places for like to go to find editors and stuff. That's what he's diving into right now. And like how to connect with editors, and I guess if you have follow-up questions on that was kind of I feel like this is a good we're reaching that hour and a half mark. I feel like this is a good final topic.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just I use Discord servers. Discord is like crazy. It's basically LinkedIn for graphics designers, I guess. If you're looking for thumbnail artists, managers, editors, or whatever, on Creative Paradise specifically, there's a minimum price of $50 for whatever, and then $20 for shorts or TikToks, and then $15 for thumbnails. But Creative Paradise is going to be the most active one for editors, like to get jobs. Any 3 of these ones that I'm in as a content creator, you're probably going to get an editor from, because editors are always looking for. There's a lot more editors looking for work than there are content creators giving out work.
I agree.
Out of curiosity, that $50, like when you're spending that, is that pre-sifted, post-sifted? I'm curious what that.
It's here, I'll read it. It's from the bot that pops up sometimes in the chat. It says all client seeking creatives are required to post a budget for the position you are looking to fill. Along with that requirement, any projects that require an editor for long form content, 8 to 10 minutes, which is usually like your most typical like for example, what I was doing was I was just taking streams from whatever, like it'd be like 8 to 12 hours, and then just cut it down to a 10-minute video and put like text and transitions, like sound effects, stuff like that, like fluff it up. And so the minimum price for a video like that that you like to look for an editor would be $50 for that, and then like your shorts, it would be $20. It really depends on what you're doing. Like you're gonna get like a more basic. You're gonna get a nice video for $50, but it's gonna be fairly basic.
Well, I guess where I'm looking at it is you can't just dump like 8 hours of footage on somebody and say, here's give me an 8 to 10 minute video.
Oh, you totally that's how that's how most people do it.
Really?
Yeah.
that's how most people do it.
Holy
as I was
shit.
As I was talking to different people, they're all like, people just pay me for this, and then they give me like an insane amount of footage, and they're just like, good luck. I'm like, well, really? It's kind of crazy.
And you get scheduled it like you're expected. Like most of the time, it's like the turnaround at most is a week, like a 5 day week. Like you're expected to turn it around about 2-3 days.
Well, I mean, to be honest, if I'm not like screwing around editing, like I can shit out an 8 to 10 minute video
for $50.
You could do it in like 4 hours.
Yeah, let's say about 4 hours. Yeah.
Like a lot of the time, I found myself doing it like school assignments, where I would do it like the last day I was, for the deadline or whatever. When I was doing it for like actual, I did editing for this like I don't know what the hell you'd call it, but it's basically a company. There was Vodity, and then we had Cat 6 was what we made, and there's like you go into like a Google like thing where there's schedules and shit for all the editors for that client or whatever, and like deadlines and stuff like that. It's legit fucking like job.
Yeah, I mean, well,
There's a trick to sifting through 8 to 12 hours of footage though. Like in Vegas, you just like crank the playback speed up to like 1.5 or 1.7.
Oh yeah,
and then
I run it for my own shit. I actually run it about 2x, 3x, but that's because I remember it, and I also number one, I shadow play for a reason, because then it's
way easier.
Because then I'm already sifting half the shit out. Granted, I miss shit, and it's one of the reasons I like streaming, because then you can go back and get little moments. But
it's really easy too, because you can just like look at I like Vegas too, because Premiere does this too, but Vegas has like the audio wavelengths, or you could just like, all right, I'm gonna play it at like 2x speed, and then I'm gonna like skip to where like there's audio spikes, and then see what's going on, and then you could like watch a 12-hour stream in like 2 hours doing that, like not even, and have like a rough outline of the video, have everything cut down like by 3 hours.
I guess that's the weird thing for me, is still like taking a long stream and editing it. I think Fear, you brought this up. I love the way like landmark stream, where it's just, I did 10 raids in the day, but only 3 of them were good. Just highlight these 3.
Yeah.
Right. And
I bet editing for a Tarkov streamer is kind of easy like that. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Like the way I do it is I have all the individual raids just recorded. And if I send, I'll be like, all right, these are 3 good ones, and that's exactly how I do it. So edit them together, or just make a happy happen. And you have.
Well, it's real easy, because like, what Tragic was saying,
where to look. It's a short raid.
And I love shadow play too. With I love separating out mic and audio. Like if you separate your sound sources, because then I can see when I'm talking. So if it's a clip where I remember myself having in my opinion, funny moment or tactical moment or some shit. It's like it's easy to cut right to that too.
I also have a question.
Oh shoot.
You being inside these Discords, how long have you been a part of these communities?
Ooh, can't I check that? How do I do that?
Question.
Oh, here, yeah, I got you. Don't mind my like mess of Discord servers here. Oh wait, why did it not work?
Oh, you can't.
I need.
Yeah, you can't share to this channel.
Just like a couple years, or?
Oh yeah, about like since 2018, 2019, something like that.
Okay. And
I got into this part of like editing kind of late in my career, I guess.
And I've heard the people you've edited for. Now, the videos that you've edited for them, have those videos been successful individually?
Not like exceptionally, but like on like average, I guess. Here I can. This is like a condensed version of my. I know this isn't good podcast etiquette, but there we go. They did all right. I mean, I think the most views I got, let's see, about 30-ish K, I'd say. 28K the Jake and Bake video got. That was like the Jake and Bake video is the second video I ever did, like for content creation. Like it was my second try ever. My first video I ever tried, I did it for Whoops, but I was doing it as like a portfolio thing, and I was trying to get on it, and then I sent it to Whoops, and then he was just like, dude, holy shit, this is really good. Like, do you want to edit for me? And then he gave me $100. The manager told me to take the video down off my channel and then send it to him, and they gave me $100 for it. It was pretty cool. But
how much do you know? I'm just curious. How much money? Do you know how much money is made from each one of these videos off of ad revenue, or no?
Oh, off ad revenue, I have no clue. Probably wasn't that worth it. They were mostly getting their money from their streams. This was just like way to get more of an yeah, it was more a way to get more of an audience and just hopefully like, and if it does do really well, oh no, never mind, this Wolves video got 45K views. Nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It has 45K.
I mean, assuming they got I was gonna say their CPM should be, if it's a gaming stuff, like in the $2 to $3 range, maybe $5
$5 at the max. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Here, I can also.
I mean, so it's you're coming in right on that $100 with that. Like it would basically make right around there, right?
What 45,000 times what?
Oh, well, I was going on the low end. If you're times 2, like you're coming right under 100, and on 5 max, like $200. But that's not including, and a lot of people look at YouTube this way that are streamers and doing stream highlights, right? And I know you hate the T word, but the Twitch streamers,
Yeah.
Pay Money Wubby, I think, is a great example of this. He's somebody that only exists because of his like stream income, the income from people donating and doing stuff and interacting with his stream. So his YouTube channel, which he pays editors to work on, or sort of, I think they do. I think they get his editors on his second channel. I'm pretty sure take almost all of the revenue because he uses that as marketing, and so they get the ad revenue and they live off the ad revenue off his second channel, and he lives off the Twitch money. But the better the videos do, the more people go to the stream, and the better the videos do, the more money the editors make. Which I think is I think it's probably at some point a good. I think it's a good decision at some point if you're a streamer. Like if you're big enough to go, I'm going to hire editors to run their own channel. Like that, we were talking about this earlier, but the whole idea of having a team run your channel, run a channel maybe for you, like an also channel, a second channel, whatever. But that's I think that's pipe dream down the line for most content creators. That's you got to be. That's post grind content creation.
Yeah, most of the time you're gonna end up like how we would manage channels was we would set like a monthly budget. Like okay, how many videos do you want to go out each week? Like what like level of editing do you want in these videos? Same thing with the thumbnails. Like how do you want to work this out? And then like we would so this month of March we're gonna like expect 2 videos a week at $100 each and say $20 for the thumbnails, and then also like a managing cut. But the overall, like I think the most we have was like $500 a month or something like that from one client. I think Whoops was one of our clients for a while, but he was like, "This is too expensive." We weren't very good at it.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. It's like, when does it become too expensive? You know, because you can. Because I mean, because you can edit all these videos, and I'm just thinking of like black and white business stuff, right? If I'm on one side, if I'm paying someone just to edit videos, they have no investment in what I'm doing. They're just getting paid off of my own passion for something else, technically. So it's like, do you, as a creative person, I mean, your name isn't on anywhere of the platform. You know, it's not on. You know, it's maybe you might put you're editing these videos somewhere, but do you care if those channels grow in a sense? I mean, other than financial, are you putting in? Is it strictly just like a business transaction? Like, oh, here's your edited video and have fun.
It kind of depends. Like, you want the channel to grow because then there's like obviously more incentive for you to, keep going on. You want to continue. You want repeat customers essentially. But yeah, I'd say, I mean, it's a job like anything else. Like it's something you'd have to have a passion in. So you're gonna obviously care about like how the videos are doing, because I would always like look at the comments and see if people were enjoying it, and if they like weren't, I was just like, this like fucking sucks. But
I have another question on top of this. Is there anything that you do that helps the video grow other than editing the video? Like, are you like speaking for the video, promoting it in any way?
Yeah, we're trying to, like, you get to a point with the bigger ones where the marketing team is also like working the social media too. We never got to that point, but like scheduling the videos to like going in what we were talking about earlier, like understanding like how the algorithm is working with YouTube at the time or whatever, and just like trying to schedule the videos and have like a consistent schedule for these videos to grow. Like that's the whole thing. And we're trying to the idea of what we were doing, that we did this years ago. I don't know if I don't exactly know how people do it nowadays, but it was just like you get to focus on what you do best, the streaming, and then we get to focus on what we do best and try to grow like your YouTube channel and give you the best content that we can.
Well, I think that there is an incentive for you guys, because the better the videos do, the more apt the person is to keep using you, and then more.
If the videos are going to do bad, they're not going to want to work with you.
Right, and then if they do grow, that's the point where it's like, okay, well, this is a monthly contract or something, and that's when I would assume that's when you guys would. If you guys ever had somebody blow up, I would assume you wouldn't go, we still offer this at $500 a month. You would probably want to take it to the next level, or no?
Yes. Well. We just left it like whatever they wanted, and like if like the channel were to do better, like we would in the like client wanted to like do more or less or whatever, like we would do whatever. We just did whatever like they wanted essentially. But like in terms of like what type of videos that they're wanting and like how many, and whatever, we would, like I said earlier, we take care of like the scheduling and stuff like that.
So Fear's kind of in sales, and I've been adjacent to sales a lot of my life. I think you're in sales, right? Fear. God damn, my memories. Okay, yeah. I'm very insecure sometimes with some things when I'm distant with conversations. I would say there's always a point where it's not giving people what they want, but giving them showing them what they need. And it is a hard thing to do, because you have to risk willing to piss people off, or like with my line of work, right? People ask me if there's better products. I'm not going to lie to them. The product I sell, I don't want to say sell, the product I service is there are better competitors out there. However, they cost more. And so I have that wiggle room of going, listen, these are cost effective. These meet your price point. Yeah, there's better ones out there, and I have no problem telling you what they are. I also have no problem telling you what their cost point's going to be. It's going to be about an extra 75% on your current bill. And they go, oh, we couldn't afford that. I'm like, right. That's why you guys are with us. Like, that's why you have this model of machine.
Yeah.
So, it's about having those like hard, realistic conversations with people, and just because
I have another interesting hard question about being a video editor.
Yeah.
When you're working for a channel and the channel doesn't see growth, A, what happens? And B, has anyone ever assigned you guys blame?
Well, we never got like assigned the blame. I never like had it. I can't speak for like the other people I was working with, but like I never got like into it with any clients or anything like that, or like I've never been like called out or anything like that. Usually what happens if it's not working out, like if you're just strictly editing for them, they just be like, all right, like it's been fun. But no, I don't know. What was the first part of the question again? I got stuck on the second one.
No, forgot the first part. Second part got me.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's just I just sit here curious as someone who wants to spend money on stuff. So I'm asking questions as someone who wants to spend money. I'm like, if I was on the other side, like your side, what would my mentality be for these types of things? Because like you said, it's just a job, right?
Yeah.
So it's very hard to be like, I'm going to care about what your content as much as you care about your content, and so those are concerns when spending money and stuff like that too. And then of course, like the signing of the blame, it's like as if someone is managing something for X amount of $100 a month, and then the management doesn't produce the results that I said it was going to produce. Then is it my fault because the content isn't good, but I'm not creating the content? You guys are. So there's like this creative kind of block of like what's happening.
Yeah, and it can get that way if you're like managing like the channel. That's why I usually just want to be the editor.
Yeah, you just come and just tell me what to edit and I give it to you.
Yeah, just like, man, let me edit the video. Like, let me do what I like. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I was saying earlier. Is I managed channel for like 5 minutes, and like we had managers and stuff, and I understood what they were doing, but like I wasn't particularly great at it. It was the editing that I like really actually cared about. Because like as an editor too, it's not that like you don't care about their content. It's not even like their content as an editor. It's like it's my video.
Yeah.
I want it to be cool. And then like you're watching the stream and clips go by, and then you're just like, oh shit, like I have this like cool fucking idea for this that would be really funny or really, whatever it is. And I don't know, you just kind of go for it. It's pretty fun. It's one of those, like I said earlier, like editing is something you have to like. You know what I mean? Like nobody that does this, doesn't like what they're doing. I would say.
I think what Fear is kind of more getting towards is there's. I'll give an example. Like I've edited videos for other people now, and I'm editing like real life videos and stuff for other people, and there's a joy that I lose when editing certain videos. There's a passion that I don't have, and so Fear's like, how do you? I guess. Do you guys, when you're looking at editors and you're offering it like as a Discord, as a group, is it something where it's like somebody goes, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is the style I'm kind of looking at, and then it's about finding the right editor, or is it
for instance,
Wild West of just everybody throws their hat in the ring and you got to kind of figure it out?
It's kind of like the Wild West. What you're going to end up doing is like putting a message in a like text channel, and then be like like, oh, I'm looking for a content or an editor for like this, like Tarkov videos or whatever. It's gonna, like, I need like 8 to 10 minute videos at this price. Just DM me with like a portfolio and like something of your best work or whatever. And then you're just gonna kind of message people. People are gonna DM you, and you're gonna have to like kind of talk with people. That was what was cool about like the managing thing. Was that like it was like almost like a company to get like a handful of editors and a handful of thumbnail artists, and then a few managers. And then it was just like the managers would go see the clients and then be like, hey, like I can set you up with however many editors and thumbnail artists like you don't have to go do all this like bullshit to get your content out there. You don't even really need to like do anything YouTube wise. And it was also a lot more structured with like the groups or whatever, with the scheduling and shit like that. It just made it really easy as an editor, at least.
Yeah. From your perspective, it does make sense to make. It's just easy. Kind of go in and go to work and get out. Have fun, make what you make. It reminds me of just working at any type of studio that's brick and mortar. They probably just like monetize it into a way that's on Discord, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like it's like any other like transaction or business or anything like that. Like it just happens to be people playing video games, like, and making videos of it. It's kind of crazy, and that, like, and going back to what Rec was saying, like where you kind of like lose a certain level of like passion for it. At the end of the day, like a job is a job. Like you're not going to want to edit some days, and or like you're just not feeling a certain like stream that you're editing. That's why I think it's really important to like look at like I think this is how it is with Pestily, like where it was just like a bunch of like viewers and like they just started editing for them and shit like that. Like it was people that like already liked like each other, I guess. Like there was already like rapport there. Like it does get a little weird when it's just like a random client that you don't know anything about, and now you're just editing like some person you never heard of.
But I used to belong to a gaming community that kind of was pushing towards that, but they were just, the brand was the gaming community. It wasn't like you had to be a part of the amorphous blob, I guess is a way to put it. And I didn't like it because I was like, I want to do my own thing. I don't want to be associated with, well, I don't want to get into that stuff. But like having a lot of people do stuff, it was nice having like 3 Photoshop editors because they would all compete with each other too. Like if you're
It
on a
gets like
shared,
that, yeah.
if you're on a shared goal, I think, oh God, I'm trying to remember who, I want to say it was Aqua. I could be wrong. It might have been Jesse. It was, I know they're 2 very different creators, but it was one of the 2 of these. They had like all of their editors edit a section of the video that they put out. And it's like a cool idea. If like you have 3 or 4 editors, you get to that point of doing
There's
that.
definitely like a competitive nature to it too. Like when I was working for Whoops, though, at first I was working with like 2 or 3 other editors too, and I was like, nah, fuck this. I want to be the best like fucking editor like for this channel. Like when people see the like video and they click on it and they see like my tragic intro, they're like, fuck yeah, this is gonna be a good video.
Did at any point have you like edit some, like do people pay you to edit other people's edits? So if like you did an edit, I don't want to say you didn't edit, like if somebody did an edit and then pass it to you guys to pass over, is that something that gets
I never,
or not really?
I never had anything like that. There are people who can get paid to do clipping, where they're just taking the stream and clipping it down and then sending it to another editor. But I never got into that. I always just ended up just like give me the VOD and I'll give you the video.
I guess I'm kind of asking this from a cost-effective measure. So, for example, I'm going to use Fear because he's in the market for this. If Fear were to take his 3 raids, right, and he goes, all right, I'm going to sift these down a little bit already, and I'm going to cut it down so it's at 12 minutes, and hey, I want an 8-minute video, right? Is that still a $50 video, or does that change the dynamic in that conversation at all?
I would say that would be a $50 video because like my rule of thumb was always like at least like as an editor, like you want to get paid at least like $100 like for like a full length video. And honestly, I mean, you would have to, there's like other servers you can post in also. Creative Paradise just has that like minimum. I'm sure there's also like subreddits and stuff like that, but like if you were to like kind of sift down the content for them, like you can charge a lot less and your editor will love you.
I guess that's where I'm like, if I had to sift somebody's 8-hour fucking stream, I'd be like, I'm charging you $200.
Yeah.
Well, because it's like a convenience thing, and of course like I'm giving you like a product that like I'm like putting work into, like it's any other thing, like or any other like artistic thing, like I'm giving you like something I'm fucking putting my soul into, motherfucker. Like but yeah, I don't know if you that would be a solid way to do it. Or like it's mostly a lot of the video's expenses like sifting through that shit, I think. Like so if you gave like, all right, I want you to edit these couple of raids, I think you can like not have to charge as much.
And I guess my final question, and then Fear, I'm good whenever you want to do the outro after this, but I'm curious when blanked up. I don't mind talking about the outro now, so my mind went to that. Give me a sec. One of you guys got a question? It'll come back to me, hopefully.
So how about them Yankees, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm just I'm always interested in how, because I don't know, the idea of a business. If I run a business studio, the types of clients I'm bringing in, what those clients look like. They could be people who are looking for advertising material to grow something else. That's pretty much all it really ever is, right? Like, I mean, anytime someone comes in, they just want to take a video, have that video perform well so that they can make enough money off that video to buy another video, technically, right?
Yeah, I would say so. A lot, like I said earlier, a lot of our clients were making like their money off of Twitch, and they were just like YouTube was just like a free marketing essentially. I guess not free, but like
but it's not free, and it just seems it's not free, and it's a weird. It's weird from like my perspective, but from it makes sense, and it makes sense to run it that way. It makes sense because it makes sense of the money you make.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense to pay for something that doesn't make you money.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Like from like you have to have like a certain level for it to like really make sense. Like, and you can do it really cheap.
Or I would say you have to
But-
have like a really good idea. So I think if you were to, I think I'm just gonna skip on my old question. If you were to have a channel, Noise Guy, I guess might be a good example of this, right? He starts up new channels when he starts up new games. So paying an editor that like you already have an established brand, and maybe that video might not make money, but having a new channel with 10 videos that are all bangers, I guess, or all like well edits, is infinitely better in YouTube algorithms' mind usually than like a channel with 1,000 videos that have been poorly edited.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
Technically.
But you also have the, if you have 1,000 videos or 2,000 videos, you also have the random chance that one or two go viral and then
Yeah.
yeah. So there's
And
methods
I
both.
always went for like the quality, I guess. Like these are like high effort videos. But like I was mostly working for people that, had a shit ton of fucking subscribers or something. But that's why I would probably edit my own videos like mostly just because it'd be easier. I could do what I want more, but
You can, yeah. It's not like
yeah.
it's taking time away from anything.
Well,
You're doing something you enjoy.
Yeah, but that's the thing as like a content creator, I think, is like how much time are you like do you want to spend doing that, and like it doesn't make sense like from a business standpoint, because like you are like as a content creator, like you are like you are a business, like yourself essentially.
I mean, to be real, 99% of people who are paying for videos who just learn how to edit and edit them themselves because they're not making any money off of the things that they're paying for,
Yeah.
Like that's the model I have in my brain, that just like people keep paying for it.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because there's actually a lot of like smaller creators that are just like look at it as like an investment, I guess.
It can be an investment, but the investment has to be smart. If I'm giving $1,000 to a guy on the internet to make me videos to hope that he cares enough about my videos that my videos blow up to make me successful, that's an insane gamble, and that's such a disconnect from like what's happening. I feel like.
Well, because there's no guarantee is the problem. Like when you're dealing with a brick and mortar company, you have there's an implied guarantee of, hey, I have something called the Better Business Bureau that I can get a hold of, and I have an attorney that I can get a hold of, right? Because we're going to have a more drawn up contract, but with that comes a higher fee. So it's I guess like I kind of agree with you, Fear, but I disagree with you on the point where it's like I think it's at that bar where it's still cheap enough. I understand $50 isn't cheap. I grew up poor. $50 is like I could feed myself for almost a month off $50, even in the current economy. Like if I had to.
I'm not saying $50 is expensive.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that from a business mind, if I make 30 videos a month at $50 a pop, am I making any of that money back? And that's just a business. With brick and mortar, it's this entire conversation plus $2,000 a month on overhead.
Yeah.
So that's the additional benefit of your brick and mortar. But I don't know. I'm just always curious. Has anyone ever paid you? Has anyone ever? And this is, I guess, like someone DMing you, not from the business of the discourse that you work for, because I understand that business model. It makes sense. Has anyone paid you an ad revenue before?
Oh no, I always got a flat fee, like X amount of dollars for a video. Like I think the most I got paid for was like $150 for a video, and then the least was like about $50 or something. Or no, that's a lie, $20. Yeah, that was fun. But
how much money would you have to be making from a video for you to be paid on ad revenue? I'm just curious because I know other people get paid via ad revenue.
I don't know. I never, like I said, I never had experience with that, so I don't really know how that like works, because I never really, all the videos I did make, like I didn't finish, so that I don't have. That's never been something I've thought about, because I'm just an editor, really. I don't know. It would. I don't know.
Well, I guess so.
Like a month or like a week? Would you say
a month?
A month?
Yeah.
How many videos would I be doing?
It's how much money would you like per video? I think that's the real question, because
I think he's getting that percentage. Yeah, like
if I give you a percentage of the ad revenue from a video, how much? Because this is a better question. It's not how many videos you're going to be making. It's the potential how much money you could make, right? Because if you argue, hey, I want 60% of the ad revenue, I'm like, okay, but if the video doesn't make any money, then you make no money.
I got you.
It's like commission
somebody
based.
offered. I would. I mean, depending on like how much revenue they're getting, I wouldn't be opposed to like 20 to 30%. Like that's
20 to 30 is a real okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that's unreasonable. Like it depends on like what I'm doing. Like,
of course,
I wouldn't go over half. I think because like it's not like they're my videos. I would say, but that's not like my channel. Like my ad revenue.
I would say there's a point you can go over 60% or ask for more, and I think that's if you are like if it depends
on what I'm doing.
Well, I
guess what you're doing.
I'll look at like Kurzgesagt in a shell as a great example.
Honestly,
like
I would take 10, 15, depending on what like who I'm like how much they're making or like how well it is. You know,
I think Destiny pays his video editor like up to 50% of, and that's just all he does is edit videos. And it's interesting. It's an interesting business model for me because no one really does it. And you are technically making videos that you want to make, and you are technically almost dictating how much money you make. It's such a unique like business model in my mind that I don't see enough people doing, because it's like, for me, I sell houses. It's the same thing. It's the same idea of like commission sales. If I sell this house, I work for 30 to 60 days, and I get paid on like day 61, and that covers the entire 3 months because that was such a good deal, kind of thing. It's just, I don't know. It's just something that I saw Destiny do it, and it clicked in my head. I'm like, that's really smart.
Yeah,
that guy, if that YouTube channel makes fucking $200,000, he just made $100,000.
Yeah,
and it's not even his channel. You know what I mean? So it's.
Hey, he doesn't got to worry about maintaining the brand really. Besides just not.
No, that's Destiny does that.
Honestly, with how big Destiny is, I would take like 15-20% on Destiny. That'd be. He
really overpays though, and I think that's such a good. It's such a good fucking prerequisite. But he's also a bar.
He's also super. I don't want to say strict, but he's like super like hands on with it, because he was actually a client.
He's super hands on.
Yeah, he was a client for. I never edited for Destiny, but he was a client for Vaudity, and I was an editor for Vaudity. And he had his own in Vaudity. It was just like, all right, editor's channel, content creator's channel, like down the line. And Destiny had his own fucking like channel, and like editors had their own, like the Destiny editors had their own like what is it in Discord? Like they had their own role in the
he calls them like orbiters and shit. He has those little orbiter dudes.
So
he's just
like he was super hands on, but I'm sure that like Vaudity was making a lot of money. He's not with them anymore, but I'm sure they were making a lot of money off of fucking Destiny.
Yeah.
Vaudity was not good. Vaudity was
he could have just been milking him. The thing is that, from what I'm told, he always pays out a lot of money. Like even like to people working on shows with him or streaming with him, he pays them good bits of money, more than you would expect. And I'm really surprised that a lot of other big streamers don't do that, because it's such a good way to like build a good community, give people jobs that are actually, help them live a fucking life.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I think about like learning to edit videos and paying $35, $50 an edit. That's still legitimately 2-3 videos a day, and I would have to make 3 videos a day every day, 30 days a month, just to make like $25 to like $3,000 a month, and that's before taxes. So I'm going to get taxed on, because I'm working 1099 anyway. It's in my mind. I'm like, damn, that's a lot of work, making like fucking 90 videos a fucking month. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'll take.
That's a lot a month. I mean, that's a lot to do, and only make this much money, with the potential other side of that side making so much more money, like infinitely. If you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I think
any one of those videos gets 1 million views out of the 90. It's just like, that's the whole year of ad revenue. It's insane.
Well, you're also
$50,000.
You're also, I think, discounting the other side of this too, which is if you have I think if you were able to, there's the long-term aspect you guys were talking about earlier, Tragic was bringing up earlier, which is if you develop that long-term relationship, you start setting yourself up for having consistent content, which means you can do sponsored content. So if you know, people know if like a company like gaming companies or in your case, Fear, like you're trying to get to the shoutcasting stuff, right? Like, you know, tournaments need shoutcasters and they do get paid. Not dependingly on the tournament, but like the real big ones would be like the you know, pipe dream, but even the small boys get paid.
The CS:GO ones, those kind of people, they make good money. It's a living, you know.
Yep, and because it does add value to the like I would never watch a League of Legends esports match without a shoutcaster because it'd be boring as shit. I'm like, I'm just watching
without Tyler one yelling at me about what's happening. Yeah, I get it.
yeah. So like, I mean, I get it.
But yeah, that's where my mind is. I was just interested in what your mind was. Tragic, and it's interesting. It's nice to hear from the creative side because I try to be creative. I am creative, but my mind doesn't stay there long.
Yeah, it's something you have to have like drive for. Like I haven't been doing it just because like I don't know.
Why not? Why would you be doing it?
I don't know, man.
Is this what you want to do?
I don't know what the fuck I want to do.
That's your problem, right? You got to figure that out, man. Did you go to college?
I failed out.
When's the last time you went for? When's the last time you went for like just a long walk by yourself without listening to music?
Well, I'd stand outside and smoke without any content coming in.
That's not a long. I mean, you do gain pace that way, but it's honestly, if you could figure out and like write, like 10 years ago, I wrote down that I wanted to do YouTube. That's the end goal, but you know, I have to means to an end. I have there's other goals on that sheet, right? Which is, you know, house, wife, show.
I would say. So. I'd say what I'm looking into right now is definitely something tech related, maybe something in marketing because of like what I've been doing. I mean, I would obviously love to make a living off of like editing for a streamer I watch or something, you know.
Well, if you want to move to the north, I can get you an IT job in about 5 minutes.
I've been looking at those Google certifications.
I'll move out.
Oh yeah, it took 312 days for my IT department to solve a problem for me. And
I'm just gonna hammer you on this because I find it fun for me. But you said you would love to edit for a streamer, but what's stopping you, man? Like why?
Well, I'm shooting like my portfolio.
Your mind is morphing.
Well, lately I should do it more. I do it intermittently, but I've been sending my portfolio out just to get like a side hustle going, I guess, and work up a new portfolio, one that isn't just a YouTube playlist. And so I'm kind of working on that, but right now I'm just trying to get a solid job with, you know, a livable income.
Do you live at home? You live out on your own.
Yeah, I live at home right now. It's I don't make enough to live on my own. But the median
most
rent,
people don't.
Yeah, the median rent right now is like 1,100 where I live.
Yeah, I'm a service professional, and I live at home with my parents right now. I moved back in with them.
I think like the average place in Orlando, if you're not like living near gunshots, is over $2,000 a month.
Yeah,
just for a 1-bedroom.
Easy.
And that's, you know, most people aren't going to be able to live there and drive to work and all that stuff. It's hard. But
I mean, what is it? The rule of thumb for like what you should be spending on rent is about 30% of your income.
It's a third, yeah. Nobody makes. That means you're making $6,000 a month. Go get fucked.
Yeah, and 30% of my income is like almost $600. Like about 580 something.
And are you making money from editing videos right now?
No, I'm trying to again. It's been a while, and like I was saying before, it's hard to get back into now because I think all my friends kind of faded out of it, and like did more different IT jobs or whatever. But it's definitely hard as an editor to just like start shooting portfolios out there because, you know, people look for specific things. Yeah,
that's part of the issue. It's like you gotta have footage to play with, and
I would say the easiest thing to do that if you like there's like a fucking new aspiring editor. Just take a VOD of your favorite streamer and just make a 10-minute video out of it.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Or make short, make shorts channel. Make shorts
or
content.
make shorts.
No one will. There should be no streamer on the planet Earth that gets upset that someone makes free advertising content for them. Like, unless they're hard ripping your entire video. Like, if they take your entire stream and go, I edited 2 minutes out of this 2-hour stream. Here you go, guys. Okay, maybe you need to do something else. But
I definitely credit them, properly. But most people. I mean, you're gonna run into some dickheads. It's never happened to me, but I've seen it before where people will copyright strike your video or something. But most people are like just gonna if you sent it to them, they'll like retweet it or something. You know what I mean?
So
they think it's cool.
I'm actually curious about that. So I've had obviously I have videos that have copyright claim on my channel, but from YouTube's perspective, they're quote okay. Right, I just don't get the ad revenue from them, so I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, don't try to make sense of YouTube's fucking whatever the hell it is.
And I've had very few of them get that like pop up that like delete this fucking video off your channel, or just heads up nobody's getting it because of the copyright on it. And I go okay, right, and there's a lot of stuff on my channel that I feel could get copyright struck. But I also look at I look at big content creators and they do the same, like they have the same kind of memes in there. They have the same kind of shit in there. And I don't necessarily, I don't feel I understand fair use. I understand fair use, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I just hope I never have to fucking fight it, I guess. So
I don't know how YouTube does it now, but a lot of the time, like the streamers we were working for, we're making all their money off of streaming, and so we could use whatever music we wanted. It didn't matter if it got copyrighted because because all they were going to do was turn that ad revenue off on it, and they didn't give a shit.
Okay, right. That's what I was thinking about. So you edit for people. Okay, that's kind of all I was interested in, is if other bigger creators really didn't give a fuck about that copyright claim.
I mean, it depends on the streamer. A lot of like I said, a lot of streamers I worked for didn't care and weren't even really hands on with it. I was talking working with managers. You could message the streamer and get a rapport, I guess, but you could just, all you had to do was just talk to the manager and just edit the videos. And then, of course, you're just I want to make a really cool video. A lot of the times they're not super specific. Like I said, they're not really hands-on. A lot of people will have what they want, certain directions or suggestions or whatever. But a lot of the time they're just here, take this VOD and do something.
I get that. Man, how long have we been talking?
That's
been a good bit.
It's been a good bit. We're at 2 hours and 11 minutes. Sorry.
You know what, Tragic? How about you wrap it up here, buddy? You give the outro.
This is like when you're at Thanksgiving and your family forces you as a kid to say the grace.
I want to hear it.
Say grace. Come on.
I don't know, man.
Who'd you vote for in the election? Come on. Say this part of your prayer.
Fuck no, I'm not gonna vote. I'll vote locally. Fuck, dude, I just tuned into the fucking primaries and I got pissed off. They were fucking talking about a bunch of bullshit. What would you do about abortion? It's dude, I can't afford anything, and Russia's fucking gonna nuke people.
That's a great, I think, segue. We're gonna abort this podcast.
Yeah, thank you guys for so much. Hit like and comment, please. Thank you, Treasure, for hanging out today. I appreciate it. It was nice speaking with you. We'll get some more speaking in Tarkov time. It'll be fun. Rec, thank you as always. Appreciate you, my guy. Thank you for putting all this together, and catch you guys on the next one. Peace.